Welcome to Royalty Palace Podcast. You know, we have another royal queen in the building. I'm gonna let her edify herself real quick, then we can get some real deep conversations. So talk to us, queen. Tell us who you are and give us a little background about yourself.
So, I'm Elizabeth.
She's shy, y'all.
Miss Romulus, they call me the Royals Assist. And I'm an entrepreneur. I guess you would say a serial entrepreneur.
And definitely a serial entrepreneur.
I have several businesses and I'm a consultant, actress, a little bit of everything.
Does it all. She wore the crown, y'all. She wore the crown for sure. Does everything, like literally. So being in the space right now that you're in, and we're gonna speak about you just edifying a little bit more deeper to who you are as a person. But being in the space that you are in now, which is the actual surgery world, she actually assists with post-op recovery. So she does post-op recovery concierge. And I myself have seen her in action, and the cameras have seen her. Y'all gonna see some things very soon. Not now. But we got some stuff coming for y'all for sure. So being in the space of the post-op recovery world, like what got you into that space and what's the reason why you're so passionate about it?
So it's funny because I always tell people the story, like Miami kidnapped me. I'm not from here. You know, I was here on the TV show, and that was going good, and I was like staying here for a little while, but then I had plans to kind of move back to LA where I was living before. But then my best friend, who she's also my business partner, Shanae Vega, shout out to the queen. I love her so much. She called me one day and she was like, girl, I'm getting surgery. And I was like, you're getting what? So I was one of them women that I didn't really know about that. I had never met anyone who had done it before. So it was completely new to me. But she had done her research and she was like, look, I know exactly what to do. I already got my doctor. You just got to come along because you're the best. And she was like, with your experience and, you know, you're just an awesome person to bring. Just come.
So she got you into the space.
That's how she threw me in. But it gets better than that. Because, like, she's an RN. And my background is I have social work degree. I'm also EMT, you know, so I've done a different things like that in the medical field, but even working with people. So, and then even with cooking, things like that, I've been known for making food and stuff. So she was just like, I'm the perfect person to bring because I won't be freaked out. I'll know what to do medical wise. But again, I didn't know nothing about surgery. Not only did she come to have surgery, she calls me days later. She's like, listen, girl, I done told my 2 friends, they're coming too.
Wow.
And I told them, you already got your whole stuff set up. And I already told them your package price and everything. So yes, they're coming and they're paying you this much each. I was like,
that's a motivator right there.
That's why I told that's my girl. Like when I tell you that's one of my dopest queens in my circle, one of the most spiritual, illest like leaders, like, and this is why I did this with her because we both come from backgrounds where she's worked with veterans and with women and domestic violence, and me too. I've come from a social work background, working as a case manager, working with recently released felons and women in the community. So we already both were really passionate about helping women. And so when she told me she needed help with this, I was there. And it was crazy because I was taking care of 3 women at once. That was my crash course. 3 women at once. 1 was getting a tummy tuck and 2 getting BBLs. And I was freaking out. But I cooked for them. I did everything. And yeah, like that was like my crash course introduction into this world. And then what she did after, she took pictures of everything, my food, what I did for her, and she went into these plastic surgery groups, which I didn't even know about. And so she started saying it was my girl, she did it. Why did 2 girls book me right after that?
Definitely.
I have not stopped since. This was 4 years ago. And then, like I said, I ended up relocating because I used to fly back and forth from LA to here to take care of ladies. But then I ended up relocating, and me and her ended up kind of sitting down and saying, okay, we saw what was going on in Miami. We saw that there was these recovery homes that really weren't legal all the way, and they were kind of, you know, not sanitary and being run improper. Women that were dying, women that didn't have education. And so our ultimate goal was to kind of put something in Miami that was lacking, which was a business that would give services regardless if the client booked or not. We would give free education and training to the ladies. We will help them plan their surgeries. We will give them tips and tricks. suggestions and advice. So if they did book our company, good. But if they didn't, they still left from our company with education.
Definitely.
Because I felt like that was something that was needed. And a business that would come into the surgery world here, but with a different perspective. We're really putting like client-centered and doing wraparound services, which is a term that we use in social work.
That's really important because especially in the surgery world, you know, like knowing that they're going for surgery, a lot of people, one, they think it's a luxury, where it's not true. There's a lot of women who are actually going through surgery because they have to. And then secondly, they're thinking women are coming out here doing surgery just have the bag to do it, when they need the help too most of the time to go through the struggles and go through the aches and pains of going through that process. So it's really dope that you said, you know, we're going to be here for you, whether you can book us or not. We're going to give you the education because that education is saving somebody's life.
Exactly.
So that's really dope.
Yeah, so we started doing stuff like I started giving like free training and education to ladies and their family who told me they couldn't afford the budget of the care, but that they had someone who was going to come and help them. And then again, like I kind of broke in like that. And I broke in too by being a first, you know, post-op recovery concierge company that was spiritually based.
Yeah.
Meaning we were calling out and catering to ladies who wanted to have a spiritual experience.
Yeah.
And so, because I felt like that was something that I didn't see. And I was like, if I was a woman and I was coming to Miami, I didn't feel like any of these businesses was going to give me the experience I wanted to have.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be able to introduce this in a different way, like this service in a different way in a world where it wasn't existing before.
And that's really dope because being innovative and being a person of compassion really is the space that is going to bring you that success. And, you know, there's different ways people look at success, but personally in the spiritual space, in the actual sense of who I am as a person, that brings you a different level of success and a different level of happiness. You know, and just you talking about it, y'all smiling, y'all giving about it and stuff like that. Cause I know you went through a lot, and like this is not easy, you know. Like there's people who don't want to take care of their family members right now. So to be in a space where you said, yeah, you can come and I will take care of you. And coming down to Miami, like you do everything because you help them plan from the inception stage, beginning stages, all the way to the very end. So it's amazing. You could go ahead, Paul.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a strong door.
She really tried.
It's a strong door.
It's all right.
All
right. Nice meeting you too.
So being in that space where, you know, you're saying it's all right for you to come and I will be the person that is going to take care of you. Because a lot of times, like, you're helping women, like, who may not be able to get out of bed to go use the restroom, who may just have to just basically take a dump right there.
Yeah, like that's, and they need help with that too. And so I've been starting to build my reputation by being a very transparent and upfront business owner that's just realistic with the ladies. I'm not gonna lie, my tactics are a little bit wild. But yeah, so like my ladies know me for that. Like during my consultations, I will literally say on the phone, like, listen, you're coming into town, you need to video call me because you're gonna be bleeding and crying and I'm gonna be the one washing your ass. And I need to know what you look like and you need to see what I look like because this is gonna be real intimate and we're gonna really get to know each other. And just so you know, it's $300 per day. Then you have to sign contracts. So I'll switch between like being down to earth with them, relating to them as women, meeting them where they're at, but also being realistic in a sense because this was something that I started challenging the women of the post-op world. Yeah. Within this post-op world, it was considered proper etiquette to just text someone back and forth through a Facebook surgery group and then book services with that person without asking them for any credentials or any type of licensing or if their business is legit. Yeah. A lot of these women had gotten into that habit. So I introduced a new thing. When women would approach my company, I would say, no, I need to spiritually assess you. Yeah, that's we need a video call. You're asking me to entrust you. You're going to entrust me with your care, and I need to be able to get to know you because this is going to be a very intimate thing.
And business is very intimate, you know, because first of all, if you get my card information, you're going to have to get to know me. I don't care. we're talking on the phone. We're gonna see each other face to face.
Yes.
If you're getting so I get 100% that, you know, you want to make sure they have that spiritual assessment, because sometimes they're not gonna be the right fit for you.
Exactly.
Like, I fire clients all the time. So they're not gonna be the right fit for you. So, you know, you go through that process with them, and that's where the trust really, that building trust, because now, hey, you don't have my card information. You could have my body now. You could trust me, or you could take care of me however you need to take care of me, because now I'm comfortable with you. We had the conversation on the phone. I know what you're planning to do for me. You already told me from the beginning stages to the very end of the stages how you're gonna take care of me. Yeah. And you're very detailed. You actually lay out the organizational details. Basically, when they come in, all they need to do is go through the process.
Yeah, and that's
they don't have to think about it or worry about nothing.
Because I alleviate all that stress.
Everything. Even going to the fact of making sure before they get out of surgery, you already have their medication, all the prescriptions already taken care of. So it's not, I'm gonna go get it for you when you're feeling pain. I'm getting it for you for it to be ready for you. Of course, we're not gonna just feed you medicine all day. We're gonna, you know, see the cap. You can take the pain to where we could, you know, maybe focus more on doing a more natural healing process.
Some people choose that route.
Yeah, and that's amazing. That's really amazing that you're actually doing all of these things with these women. And like, the surgery world is very it's very crazy. Like, me just from the outside in, so I know you got stories. Just me from the outside in and just hearing things about it. And, you know, you have to be very careful when you're going through that process, going through the surgery world. And one of the very most interesting things I say is that you make sure that they're thinking about shaping while they're going through the healing process.
Yes.
So talk to me about that.
So the shaping part, well, it's because for the ladies who come and get liposuction, this is another thing I noticed. A lot of them were booking surgery with these clinics, and then the clinic just kind of tells them, fend for yourself on your own, do research. But when I started kind of breaking it down to some ladies, they were like, wow, I didn't know that. So when they're doing that lipo and they're going in and out and like causing these tunnels and channels and like rearranging their fat, their skin becomes kind of like Play-Doh. So this is when I learned this aftermath, protecting the investment part of the surgery world, that you can't learn that in medical school.
Say that again. Say protecting what?
Protecting their investment, because they just paid money to have the surgery. But what is sad is that nothing is taught in medical school that can teach you how to put on the compression garment and how to use it and put it on the right way, and like knowing if your massages are being correct. So all this little education, again, they're really not given that, or it's not given too well. And so ladies end up kind of sabotaging their results because they're not thinking from the science perspective, like, my body is kind of like Play-Doh right now. And if I don't tell it what to do, it's not going to go the way I need it to. And then some literally just kind of don't end up keeping up with it because they give up on the process because it's extremely hard.
I was just actually about to say that, because like, you're the motivator, because if they have to choose between getting up and to put on the faja, between just laying there and trying their best not to feel pain, they're gonna choose not to feel pain. So going through that whole process, having that helping hand, and you motivating them.
Exactly.
You gotta get up clean. We gotta make sure you're stretched out. One, it's good.
That's
for
a
your
big
blood
part
flow.
of what I do.
So like, it's really important to have somebody like you taking care of them and looking out, because like, it's really going through that whole process, especially if they're very familiar with the person and the person's like, you know what, like, they're in pain, they might be more like, we're gonna leave them alone. But you know better to be like, I understand you're in pain, but you have to do this.
Well, even with that, I started learning that a lot of the women don't know about pain management. Because again, they might bring someone that's a family member, a friend, who really isn't well versed in all of this. And so there actually is a formula that if you do it the right way, you'll be pain-free the whole time. And the only time you'll feel pain is just the first few hours. Because it takes that little bit of time for the medicine to kick in. After that, if you continue a certain regimen and a certain food, water, everything intake regimen, you're smooth sailing the whole time.
That's so true. So talk about the nutrition part, because a lot of people, they don't think about it, especially think about food for surgery, like food after surgery. They'll know the base, or you know, I gotta do liquid for a certain amount of time, but they're not thinking about what's in the actual nutrition. What is it that you're taking?
So this goes back to what I would use that phrase, wraparound services. Like that's a term in social work that we use to mean like we don't leave the client hanging in any department. So I've been encouraging women of the surgery world to get out of this improper etiquette of waiting the last minute to then just find somebody and pay them money. I want to speak to you 2-3 months ahead. We've even added registered dietitians to the team. So that way when we do an assessment on you 3 months ahead of it, when you come in, if we notice that your lab work and all of that we asked you to do with your doctor, so we can catch anything that might be there. And then if we see that maybe you're deficient in a vitamin, your regimen to getting ready to surgery is going to be totally different from another woman's regimen to getting ready for surgery.
So everything is customized.
Everything is customized per client. We've even had clients started out wanting surgery, did their whole program, got spiritually assessed, and then ended up realizing they didn't want surgery.
Wow, that's huge. So you're basically saying, you go through the process with them, those who are like, you know, I just want to do surgery for it, and going just in the beginning stage of doing nutrition, they probably will find out and have found out that I don't really need surgery, I just need to change my diet. I need to change the way I eat, be a little bit more active.
Well, because it goes back to that what you had mentioned about some women coming to get surgery because it's a must. And so I started breaking it down like this to ladies. I would say to them, look, when you look at your body, are you coming here so that you and the doctor strategically can meet a goal? Say, for example, you know a part of your body where you wish the fat could be moved strategically somewhere else so the doctor can meet you halfway. So I said that to this is what I say to my ladies, and it clicks with them. Look, let's think about how you're going to strategically work with the doctor to transform your body, a trouble area that regardless of working out, exercise, and nutrition will not be able to be troubleshooted. So one of the women, once I said that to her, and I said something like, hey, Queen, does your weight evenly distribute throughout your body? And she was like, it does. I was like, are you looking more for a bigger butt? Do you have problems with like hanging loose skin? Like when you gain weight, does it go straight to your arms or something? Because then that's when we'll look at your body and say, well, what it looks like is that if we did work with your shape, just this you can get rid of. And that will help you now to get to your next goal. Some women, it's, I worked out, I did all of the nutrition, now I have this hanging skin and I need support with finding a doctor and getting there and feeling safe while I'm there. That's totally different. And then again, so that's why when I started breaking it down like that to the women, they were like, wow, no one explains it. The clinic is not, the clinic just wants their money. I've seen clinics convince ladies to do multiple surgeries at once. And then once they've spoken to me, I've told them the reality of what it will look like for them to do that, and then convince them to either split it up into 2 for their safety or to just eliminate certain ones.
So you're saving them not only in
money,
you're saving
time,
health-wise,
all of that risk, everything. Because I noticed that's what's missing. Everybody's looking at these women like a cash grab. I saw people popping up who didn't even have licenses, seeing they could make money off the ladies by massaging them. People that did so this is the thing, when they get these surgeries deposits down, they might go to Google, anywhere. They're not going to find in Miami where it will really say, this is a specialized facility. Well, you will be taken care of. That's not there. So they have no choice but to hit up these individual business owners and vet them thoroughly and do research, but then they don't even know how to do that.
And you know, it's very interesting. Like we, you know, full transparency, we work together. So she's been, you know, in the stages of making sure that everything that you would need to see and understand what you would have to do during the surgery world and what she can do to help you go through the process, that it can actually be properly displayed, transparently on top of that, and properly displayed, because a lot of the people, they're not really giving out the right information. So we've been having moments where we've done basically the plastic surgery diaries, so y'all get a chance to see that. You know, we're doing the film and production. We're also, you know, working on providing more information online on the websites, on social media, so the information is there, so people are able to gravitate to it, pick up all the details that they need, and be able to be more safe, you know, at the end of the day, being more safe. So me being in the, you know, inside of the process, seeing you going through it so meticulously, like she has done her research, yo, like she'll call me and say, hey, Kingz, I have the lawyer, I'm going to speak to the lawyer about this information. Do you have a chance to jump on the phone call? Because we want to make sure everything is properly done and properly taken care of. So like, I applaud you for that. So that's very amazing that you've been doing it. And, you know, like, all the time she's speaking about the different ways that she can help the ladies go through the process, save money.
Yes.
Find different partnerships, because, you know, they need a place to stay at the end of the day. So you don't want the ladies coming out here breaking the bank. And not only that, what's very interesting for everything you're doing is that you're strategic all across the board. So it's like, if someone comes out here, if they're gonna do about this when they come out here, what they don't think about is after surgery, you don't want to be traveling 40 minutes to 45 minutes away from just coming out of surgery, and especially in a regular car where you are cramped up. So going through that process, like just a quick breakdown, because I know people are gonna want to know even more about you. So go through that quick breakdown, and then we're gonna talk about the experiences you had, the little trauma centers basically that you have to go around to help these ladies when it comes to their healing. So real quick, give that process, that breakdown of how you take care of them from the beginning stages all the way to the end.
So it starts off again, me knowing their flight details, or whether or not I've actually convinced a lot of ladies to not drive in. There's a misconception that it's okay to drive back home after surgery.
Wow.
And it doesn't matter if you live within the state of Florida. It's not advisable. If it's a road trip that's 9 hours, 12 hours, like just, it's not advisable. So flight details, because I tell them it's easier on you, book your flight, and we help with that.
Yeah.
So do you need help booking your flight? Do you need help to find out which one's the surgery-friendly airlines? How to be able to add certain things? Yes,
there's such a thing.
There isn't such a thing. But I've been vetting all the airlines and their employees, and I've gathered which airlines treat surgery ladies better if they're flying in and out of Miami.
That's so true.
That's a thing.
You told me something about one of your clients at one time. You said, well, I'm getting her a wheelchair so she can get wheeled into the airport. I was like, what?
Yes. So put it this way, American Airlines, okay, they're not paying me to shout them out or anything, but American Airlines is one of my top airlines that I feel is surgery friendly. And the reason why I say that, it's never an issue with adding wheelchair assistance. And then their staff, I'm able to hand off my client straight off to one of their agents with no back talk, ifs, ands about it, questioning. And then they know the surgery ladies, so they're super accommodating. And so they'll literally help them from every step of the way, keep an eye on them, and take them all the way straight to their gate. They can bypass security, all of that. So it gives my clients such comfort to know, like, she's gonna pick me up from the airport.
You know, I never thought about it before, about them having to go through that security and having to wait.
Yes.
That process.
Yes. So yes, and a lot of ladies don't know that. So during my consultation call, that's already a tip that I give them to do. Which if they had never spoke to anyone and they were planning this on their own, they wouldn't know that little tip. I tell them right away, add wheelchair assistance to your plane ticket. And another thing I tell them is add the insurance, that extra $20. You know, so I'm handing them off at the airport when they get out of surgery.
You know what? Because a lot of the times when they book, they're just booking the flight.
Yep.
And you never, you never know, and God forbid, and like, thank you for all the surgeries that were successful, but you never know if you have to change that flight.
It's happened, and it's happened, and it's another $200, and so I try to save my ladies headache and time. I tell them, listen, pay that extra $20 for the insurance, because you might end up having to stay another day. We're praying for the best, but something might happen, and I would want you to not worry about paying an extra fee to change your ticket, and like, just take that, and then they listen. So I tell them, because like, we've had emergencies happen. Even when I tell them, pick the outside seat. See, I have some that fly first class, so they can really have their space. But exactly. So I tell my ladies, no, you want to choose your seat because you're not thinking about it, but having to go by people with a fresh surgery and not be able to maneuver in and out. So everything, it starts.
And I could feel like going through that pain.
And it would be annoying.
People.
So it all starts from the airport, from helping them book their plane ticket.
They have to get up often because one, they've
got to feed,
medicine,
and
so
there's a risk of blood clots. They have to move. So as soon as the fasten seatbelt comes off, another instruction is they have to get up and walk. Go to the bathroom for a little bit, stand in the back. Now focus. Like,
instructions on the
thank you. That's what I'm saying. I do, because they have anxiety. I even have to give them instructions on how to ride in the car with their pillows and stuff, because they have anxiety around that. No one is going to teach them that.
You were actually showing how to get.
Yes, because that's a thing, and they be having anxiety, and no one teaches them that.
Wow.
So they're always wondering, like, how am I going to sit? How am I going to get in the car? Oh my God, the airport, what's going to happen? So I start off from the beginning, putting their mind at ease and doing this whole rundown.
Wow.
Once I pick them up from the airport, right away we go to check into the Airbnb, which is what I started creating partnerships, like you said, so that I can be able to tell them these are the best places in the city. So at the Airbnb, when they get there, everything's already set up and they have all the supplies that they need.
That's a lot of help because, like, you know, one, the stress of having to go through the process of surgery. A lot of the women, like, you know, and you tell me true or not, a lot of the women, they probably won't tell their family members because they get judged. So they don't have anybody to help them to.
Or go to, when I break the ice with my ladies, I literally say, from now on, I'm your go-to surgery planning best friend, because that's what they be needing. And I recognize that. I looked at what all my other colleagues were doing in this industry, and I said, none of them are hand-holding. They even laugh at me. They're like, Liz, you're doing free consultations. You're crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I told them, I said, you guys keep doing what you're doing. I said, and I'll keep doing this. But some ladies needed hand-holding, like, from the beginning.
So aligned, like being able to be like, you know, yes, I'm a business, but first, I'm a person. I'm empathetic. I care about whoever it is I'm working with. So that's very important for them to see that. That's one. And two, it's very critical to have somebody that's gonna alleviate all the stress from going through, like, and this is just me, you know, knowing a few ladies going through the stress of speaking to their family about it. So sometimes they don't have nobody to talk to.
Nobody to talk to.
And then after the fact, them being here, it's like a nightmare to be able to have to, not just a nightmare and expensive to be able to have to Uber different things. How she's gonna get up to get her food if she could really get up to even use
Well, at first that sounds like a good idea, and I hear ladies say it like, oh yeah, nah, it's nothing. When I get there, I'll just DoorDash my groceries, or I'll just Uber Eats everything. So first of all, they have to be careful about their diet. So eating out is not a good idea because it's too much sodium. And then I say to ladies, like, it's okay if you DoorDash, but you're not supposed to cook your own meals, because one of the instructions is, well, if you've had liposuction, you can't get close to a stove. And then there's just like risks that they might pass out. So something small that a woman who's extremely independent thinking she's gonna be able to do on her own, it's almost a shock factor. So I've even had ladies who call me last minute. Like, I thought I was gonna be able to cook for myself. And then I almost passed out, and I realized I need help now.
Yeah, because on top of that, it's like, okay, you know, maybe after 3 days, you'll be a little bit better with moving around. But how you gonna get up and get your food the days after the surgery? How you gonna get up and think you're gonna be on the stove the days? And you're supposed to be basically from when you get out of surgery, especially since you're taking medicine, like them heavy ass drugs. You're supposed to make sure you provide your body the nutrients to be able to break down the medicine in the first place.
Well, don't get me wrong, King. I've had some women that I taken care of, and they're like, oh, beast. Like, you know who you are. Shout out to all my queens that was on beast mode, that ate that pain, that before they came to have surgery, they was doing push-ups. You know what I'm saying? They was drinking water. They was eating good. Like, I'm telling you, I have taken care of some powerful, strong women that, if anything, King, I'm telling them, can you sit down, queen? Can you sit down? Look, I'm supposed to cook. What you mean you're gonna cook for me? Why are you doing the laundry? So some of them, their adrenaline is so high that you wouldn't even be able to tell they had surgery. I've had ladies be that amazing after, which I started learning there's a formula to this. If you follow the formula before you come, this won't hit you as hard. But if you don't, this is gonna hit you hard. So those ladies, I almost had to tell them, look, slow down, because moving too fast will actually hurt their surgery. And I've had that happen where one of my ladies, she literally was an ex-bodybuilder. She came because she had loose skin from her child and wanted to get rid of the loose skin. And then she was so much used to like strength training and working out. She was doing everything by herself until she finally broke and called me. But after it overexerting herself, and her thing was allowing herself to relax, you know, because some of the women I talk to, they run their household. They support their whole everything. Their children are dependent on just them. And you know what she just kept telling me? I can't afford to sit down. I can't afford to sit down. And I always say this story about this queen, you know, I don't even have to say her name, but one of the strongest women I ever met, who literally, she was deaf, and a lot of people were judging her. She's Mormon. And so people was against this surgery, so she really couldn't share with too many people. And some people from her Mormon church was supposed to come and help her. And then she came where her son was also deaf. And she was super strong, and she did a lot on her own, but I came almost to kind of force her, like, look, queen, it's okay. And like hug her and say, it's okay. Like, let me help you. Let me clean up. This doesn't make you weak. This doesn't make you not strong. Like, and so that's just one story of just why.
You know, I know she probably cried right after.
Oh, she did. And we still keep in touch, her and I. We actually built an amazing bond. I ended up bringing my son to spend time with her son because she was recovering in a hotel. She was planning on recovering in a hotel by herself.
And that's amazing. Like, you know, talk to me, because like I've seen the interaction, you know, and that's just me seeing you for a couple of days, going through the process as well, doing the diaries. But talk to me about how well, like, you developed the relationship. I'm talking about, yo, like, she got in the car, we're gonna shout out C, you know, yo, she was amazing, she was dope. We got in the car and they're like sisters already, like she just was having.
Well, no,
man, they like got sisters already, like, yo, like.
Well, because this is the thing, like, when I came to Miami, people were like, who is the Royals Assist? Who's the Royal Society? I had established myself first in my state, in Providence, Rhode Island. That was when I first started my company, and I always been this way. And then I moved to California and did it there. Then I was in Texas and Georgia, different states. So when I came here, I still wanted to represent what the society was always about, which was bringing together powerful women who are leaders, advocates, just, you know, amazing wives, moms, like all of that, like that do just amazing things in the world, like, and care about others. So that was always my mission. And I worked with women like that, helping them build businesses. I was helping them advocate. That was always my role. So when I jumped into the post-op world, I wasn't going to change that about myself. I ended up just becoming the first post-op recovery business in Miami that's spiritually based and only caters to women who are spiritual leaders and powerful. If that's not you, because like I even had a client was like, are you open to the LGBTQ? I don't care what letter of the alphabet you are, as long as you're a sweetheart, a leader, a great person, a good mother, a good wife, like that's a Royal Society material. And so when I meet these queens 2-3 months ahead, they already read the website. They already seen all of that, and this is why they reach out. So they already feel like a kindred spirit with me. And then when they talk to me, we confirm it. First conversation is how many babies you have, what's your children's names? Well, this is me and my children. This is why I have the business. You know what I'm saying? I would love to get to know you. And like we get to know each other like that. Some of them we don't click. And that's okay. But all of my clients so far, oh my God, it's like an instant, wow, you who I was looking for. I prayed. No matter what religion, look, I'm getting chills just like talking.
I was about to say this.
No matter what religion, I've worked with women who are Mormon, Muslim, Christian, Catholic. When they saw my website, they all said the same thing. Women that have altars, women that pray to the ancestors, every single one has said the same thing. I prayed. I was intentional about who I was going to allow to take care of me. I was led to reach out to you. I checked you out for a while and looked at your spirit, and this is why I'm calling you, because I'm a super sensitive spiritual queen. And that's who I wanted to help, which I feel like those are like the little superheroes, which everyone I've met.
That's so true.
I just took care of a police officer. So that's why I was like, I have this idea that I want to run a special to just like give help to all the women who hold these amazing titles. You get your services at a totally different price than everybody else. And then in the spirit of all of my ladies, because they're so giving, they've been leaving things behind. They've been giving me donations. So now the Royal Society is going to start gifting free care to one woman a month. Like I'm going to start the Royals Eye Tide. I'm going to call it the Royals Eye Tide, where my ladies are tithing in. And I'm tithing in as an owner because I come across ladies sometimes that just can't afford it. Yeah. But they deserve it.
You actually have a whole lot of stuff for them. Like, you know, I think it was she told us that she was trying to buy a whole bunch of things.
Yes.
And you just told, I have everything. You don't have to buy nothing.
I told her, you don't have to buy any of that because I already have it all here, because 2, 3 queens before you left it behind to pay it forward.
Wow.
And I started doing that. I have queens that leave me stuff and they say, here, Liz, so you can help the next woman. That way she can save money. And then I even tell them, like, this is the bare minimum of a shopping that you have to do, because I don't want you overspending on something that you don't need to overspend, because I'd rather you come with emergency money in case of a worst case scenario. So this is, again, what just makes me different. Because, like, what business you know is going to say, nah, you don't have to pay me $3,000. You don't have to pay me $3,000, girl. How about you just pay me $1,000? You convince your sister to come, and then you bring your food stamp card, so I don't even got to add the food into there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because you was telling me, one of the clients came down, you said, listen, bring your food stamp. Let's go shopping.
Yep.
Let's put everything in the fridge. You don't have to go anywhere. You're here for a week. We get everything that you need. If we need to get any extra stuff, things, of course, that perishables, fruits and things like that, I'll go out and go get them for you, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yep.
So that's really dope. Like, listen, I want that type of care.
This is my philosophy. I, as a business owner, wanted to jump into the business world with just a totally different perspective, because I want to see this in the future. Like, imagine if every business just catered to you. Instead of it feeling like you have to transform your personality and what you want or like just to be a part of a business. Say if there was 3 businesses in town and those are the only 3 businesses, but then you're a certain type of person and you're like, well, I went to each one of those and I'm really just not feeling the way they all are going to provide services. It doesn't work well for my personality or my spirit. So I feel like in the future, us businesses should be able to like mold to the client, or like create businesses that are built for certain clients. The weirder you are, the quirkier you are, the more picky you are. So I'm realistic with my clients. On the first call, I say to them, listen, this is important, but we need to be honest about money. So you got a big budget or you got a small budget? Because if you got a small budget, well, then we can work with that. But if you want to go big and you want to be bougie, we can do that too.
You know, that's how I test a lot of my clients. The first thing I ask them, I'm not going to ask you anything other than what's your budget. Before we even start really talking about anything else, you just told me what you needed. What I want to know is, what is your budget? Because there are so many different ways we can do this thing. But realistically, can you handle going through the process? If you're, you know, want to say, oh, I have a big budget, but, you know, at the end of the day, you didn't really have that much of a big budget, or you have an emergency come along, you basically like in the middle of the process can't go through, and then now you're like, you know what?
And we have to calculate emergencies.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go through the process.
And I don't feel comfortable with that because I've been in that situation. So ahead of time, I just started telling my ladies, I don't want you to come here unless you got emergency money. If we got to take a step back and you got to reschedule this, don't worry about it, queen. You're not on nobody else's time but yours. Let's work a budget out. Let's try to get you to hustle up 500 more. Let's think of some side hustles that you could add on. You know what I'm saying? Let's turn your passion into an income and start your own little LLC.
Yeah, you're really big with motivation. Like, I really love the fact that, you know, you're always thinking about different things to help different people out, because, you know, you would give me that phone call and talk about this one. The phone call that you gave me recently about not wanting to really step out but you were able to say, you know what, let me go ahead and just go out there. Self-care day for yourself, basically. Self-care day for yourself. Let me just go out there and just relax. And being able to connect with somebody who was going through the surgery process, but they didn't have nobody to really help them with the process.
So yeah, like that was recently, where that experience to me was like confirmation that I'm on the right path and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, because that day I set out to just kind of go out and like relax and have a good night. And then I'm standing in the line in the place I'm gonna go in, and the lady just like, oh, hey, my friends didn't show up. And then she starts hanging out with me, and then we start telling each other's story. And when she said like, I happen to be in town because I'm gonna have surgery, and she just told me her whole story about, you know, like why she's doing it and how she wants to feel better, and like, you know, and just to sit there with another woman and talk like that, and then say to myself, wow, I just came out to just chill, but it ended up not just chilling, because I ended up still connecting with another woman, helping a woman, and then even giving that woman information so that she could be safe during her surgery. So I literally cried in the middle of the club, like, I was like, I'm at the club, and my intention was to just get drunk, and that's it. But look what happened. I still ended up talking business and still ended up just helping a woman. So, but for me, it was just confirmation that like I'm on the right path, and I finally have something that I could say like, this is not a job to me. I thoroughly enjoy hearing their stories, getting to know them, their struggles, their ups and downs, and then like us helping each other, because I think that that's something that's needed, you know?
Think about it. What are the odds of you coming across someone that's going through a surgery, the exact information, the exact details that she would need from somebody else, she was able to run into you, and you're able to run into her and be able to help her out? Like, what are the odds? There's nothing but alignment at that point in time, because in a club, that's straight up alignment, you know? And it's just amazing, like, you know, and just different stories and different things that you've, you know, you've gone through, and how you've helped different ladies and all that. Like, there was a story you told me about how stressful it was for this one lady that was going through it because her family didn't approve, but she needed it.
Yeah, and that happens a lot. So I've had girls that have like had to hide it from their whole family, and then I'm the only person they can talk to about it. And so this is again what makes me different. Like those, I will get a phone call maybe at 1 a.m. I'm having anxiety, you know, and then it's just like I'm more just being there for them in that sense.
So you're like a therapist.
But this is again why my company is gonna be different, because that's what they really need. And I noticed that these other businesses are not doing that, and that's not okay, because at the end of the day, these are ladies that are they have all this stuff going on. So I feel like you gotta provide the proper care, and that might mean they might see a therapist for a little while to really make sure that they're doing this for the right reason. They might have to talk to a dietitian so we can rule out the fact that she might not have an eating disorder. I've had ladies that come and try to still keep poor eating habits, and we're having a whole argument. Like, what you mean? I swear to you, one of my ladies, I won't say her name, but if she sees this, she's gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. When she was like, Liz, take me to get a cheeseburger. Liz, take me to get a milkshake. And I was just like, okay, but you know, this and this and that. And then it's like, sometimes they end up learning the hard way, but they really do be needing that guidance because no one else is helping them with that. So a lot of the ladies, it was just me and them, and I had to be all of those roles, which is why I know in the growth of my company, all of those roles are needed, and we're gonna give the ladies a full experience.
So tell me something, like, tell me a little bit more of your background. Like, why do you care so much?
I think ever since I was little, I always been like this. My mom, even in my house, like my mom used to call me the lawyer because I used to try to like get in between ass whoopings and be like, let me know what evidence she cleaned her room. I don't think she deserves the smack. And I was trying to like defend and play mediator. Even in school, everybody who went to school with me knows I was like a vigilante. I would beat up bullies. I would beat up bullies. If it was bullying somebody, I would go and I would get you. Teachers would even tell me about children that were not being respectful, and I would beat them up for the teacher. Like, so that was where I was a little bit more aggressive with my helping people. You know, I was helping people, but I was fighting.
You're a bad
my God, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I knew I was a superhero young. And so then from there, my first things I started doing for the community started when I was like in middle school. You know, I always was, I was a cheerleader. I was in the community with the rec centers. We would do food drives at my school. I always was the one, always try to bring more of the cans and the food cans. I would make, my mom and my dad would be like, let's go food shopping, but we also collect. I got my first award from the mayor of my city when I was 17 for being a mentor that mattered in my city. I started mentoring other teenagers and helping them, even though I was a teenager.
You know, we had this conversation, so I'll just say it on the camera. Like, we had a conversation about grooming the different people as we go through the process of our business to be able to be philanthropists, being mentors, more empathetic, being people who actually can care about the community. And like you, I didn't know that as 17-year-old, you actually got award for mentorship and things like that. So it's really dope. And seeing the fact that you're teaching, women who've gone through the space, and like the group chats and all that, they're actually going in there and telling other women about the experience. And that's really something where, like, being a mentor is amazing, and it's in different forms, different spaces, because you are helping everybody around you.
And it's like when you, because I was mentored a lot, and I always tell people, I give shout outs to all the people that were in my life, from basketball coach to cheerleading coach to gymnastic teacher to.
So you've always did it all.
Yeah, always. And everyone, gymnastics. I was in theater. I did dance in the step team. Yes, I was in NJROTC, the color guard.
Oh, you?
Yes.
That's my shit. I love
NJROTC. I almost joined the Navy, but I didn't, because I ended up getting an academic scholarship to Rhode Island College. But yes, I even was, and even in high school, I ended up in the newspaper because I ended up moving from my high school to another high school in Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, because I was like wanting to live with my stepsister out there in my high school time. And they placed me in actually the best high school in the state due to my grades that I had from the high school I came from in Rhode Island, in Providence, Rhode Island, which was Central High School.
Very intelligent. She's always been. You should tell her that.
But no, but look what happened when they moved me to that school, which is Rufus King. Shout out Rufus King International Vernacular High School in Milwaukee. I was there. I was there, and when I tell you, like, they was like, well, we transferred you to this one because of your grades from there, but now that you're here with the grade level we thought you were at, you do not know the same level of everybody in your grade level. So if you stay here in Milwaukee, we're gonna actually have to keep you back 2 grades because the school you came from in Providence, Rhode Island, is not having you at your actual grade level.
Wow.
So I had to go back to my city, and I went back pissed. And I came out, like, literally me and other teenagers in the district, we was a part of something called the district-wide student government. It was seniors from every high school in the city. And then we all got together and we rallied around the mayor of the city, and we told them, why are you giving us watered down courses? Why are we being lied to? Why are you passing us and we're not even there?
Disruptive.
Always been disruptive. And I wrote a whole poem called The System Sucks. And I got to read the poem, and I was in my newspaper, my city, and everything, and I read the poem in front of all the principals and everybody, and I said to them, this is not fair. This is not fair. I found out that I'm basically not as smart as you led me on to believe, so my grades was BS, and I went through that even my first year in college. I got taunted. The professors talked down to me. They told me I'm lacking stuff. College was like when I even found out I had dyslexia. And I had to get extra tutors. Everything, just to be able to pass college. And I had to take college classes before I got to college in my senior year.
Wow.
So it was crazy, like, but that was just like, I've been that person. That was me in high school, and I ended up going to college for theater and social work, because I wanted to be an actress, but everybody's like, no, you need a real job, and I was like, well, the other part of me, I want to be a superhero, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to be like Iron Woman.
That's dope. That is really dope. Wow. And talk to me about theater.
Theater, yeah.
You were actress.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know that. So talk to us. Like, a lot of people don't really know your background like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So yes, that's something that I've always done. My high school teachers can vouch for that. I was in theater club when I was in high school, really great at it. I even in middle school, actually, I was in theater, and I played Dorothy in The Wiz, the black version of The Wizard of Oz. I was Dorothy. I love doing musicals because I sing too. And so it was always something that, like, ever since I was a little girl, I used to just like practice my signature, and I always knew I was gonna be an actress, and I would practice different voices because I like changing my voice. And so my intention was when I went to college that's what I wanted to pursue all the way.
Yeah.
So I took like the voice classes, the speaking, like everything, the body and movement. But then, like, I let people get in my head. I really did. I had that. My parents was really, like, you know, strict. Like, you know, why don't you get a job?
She is amazing at voiceover. You know, like, she does some dope voices. You know, when we had a conversation, we have like a lot of different conversations. Sometimes we get on the phone with intentions to do business, but we talk about this and stuff. So, you know, one of the conversations we had was like, you know, basically managing your different personalities. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if you're able to get the best part of your different selves, and then you govern them with that one queen that governs everybody, like, you are your ultimate self. And I talk about that all the time, like mastering your mind, mastering yourself. Listen, everybody out there who's like in a space where they're feeling some sort of level of depression, they're not really too happy and things like that, if they start by mastering themselves and stop looking outwardly, is more focused on their internal self, they'll be so much more happier.
Yeah.
Because we hear all the time.
But how about the rhetoric that happens in like our neighborhoods, King, right, where people in the hood make you feel like you're fake? Like, I knew how to do this since young. My family didn't even trust me. They used to be like, oh no, she's an actress. She's probably lying right now. I swear to you. If you ask anybody in my family, they never believe me and they don't trust me because I stayed doing different characters, and I would switch to different personalities, and I would switch my voice. And so I used to get called fake. I used to get called like literally fake by people. They used to think that I didn't know who I was, but I did know who I was. I just was having fun with the idea that I can flex these different personalities that protect me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I love the fact that I could be hood, you know what I'm saying? And then I can be a business professional woman with a high vocabulary, like, and then I could be this like very down to earth, like shy girl, like.
If she that good, I could do it all.
So it's like, but technically within every woman, I feel like we have these sides, but then like society makes us like shut down all of them. Because I meet women and I force them to show me their goofy side. And then they're like, no, stop, Liz, stop it. Like, Carrie, stop it. Carrie would say that to me. She'd be like, stop it. Calm down, Liz. Cross your legs. You better stop, okay? And it's like, you know, like, who said that you had to just be this certain way? And then if you don't be that certain way, now you're trying to be a dude. Oh, now you're this, so now you're that, you know? So I play with that. And I feel like what I didn't like was that in the hood, I was made to feel like there was something wrong with me because of doing that.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if we stop that then, more people would be able to do it if we spoke about it in the sense of like, this is to survive.
You know, they're very interesting, right? So you said that, you know, back then, you know, people call you fake, right? Now look at the space that we're in right now. How many people don't really know who they are because of social media?
Right.
Now, like, for instance, now those people, because they're not really who that person is, that was never been a part of them, but now they got to put the whole front on, and they're being fake on social media, they're being fake online. But if they had tuned into themselves and known who they are, one, they wouldn't care what social media is. They just be their self and be their authentic self no matter what, no matter where they're at. Because when you meet people from social media, a lot of the times, they're not that person.
Yeah.
they're not the same person that you met, that you have been talking to online.
That's happened to me a lot. This almost even broke my heart. Like, oh man, like you don't even look the same. All those pictures was Photoshop.
Man.
Like I don't do that. I think it's weird. Like you're gonna like got to love me, flaws and all. I don't want Photoshop nothing.
And you're amazing. You look amazing.
Thank you.
You know, mad beautiful woman. Like you got style. So it's like, you know, and what's very interesting and very funny is like a lot of people will probably look online and don't see it, because whenever they see you really online, you're really more so in business mode. You're working with somebody. You're just taking a quick moment to drop some knowledge, some information. So it's like they don't even see, like they don't see Liz.
Yeah.
They don't. They just see the world's assist online. That's awesome. That's all they see. So now, you know, they're gonna get a chance to get to know you even deeper, like know like your background, that you've been mad talented, that you've been passionate about what you do. And it's like, it's just a whole different space when we have this type of conversation, authentic conversation, because a lot of people, they miss it. They don't see it. Yeah. They're like, yo, like, I promise you, like her posting by herself, like, I think maybe this month, I've seen you post by yourself the most.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's like she doesn't really post anything online. And it's like people don't see her real personality and they don't really see the background. Like, she's always on work mode. And I'm gonna be 100%, like, that's who I migrate towards. Like, I migrate towards people like you, because you're almost like it's like almost like exactly like me, I would say, because like I want to work all the time. I don't have that switch to just turn off to just relax.
I don't know how to.
Yeah, I want to be working all the time. I want to be doing something.
Why do you think I said I need help with my social media? Because like it's a lot to sit down. Like sometimes social media, I might be on there 2-3 hours, because then engagement is heavy. Yeah. Especially authentic engagement. People are paying fake people to get along with other people. No, I'm sitting there for 2-3 hours like, yeah, what's up, queen? I love that shirt. Ooh, girl, you look cute, like your hair. It's like real engagement, 4 hours on the phone. Like, oh my goodness. So like, that's been overwhelming for me. But at the same time, I still want to keep like that transparency, like, you know what I mean? Where like they still get to talk to me. I've already have it to where down the line, like, yeah, it might be somebody else who starts onboarding the ladies, but then eventually like they still have a call with me. Like even no matter how big God makes this for me, I'm always gonna be that owner. Like I'm gonna still kind of roll through and be like, yeah, girl, can I braid your hair? Like the owner's braiding my hair, like, yeah. Cause I seen you, you know what I'm saying? I knew you was coming in town and I know a perfect hairstyle for you, girl, and I wanted to get to know you. Like I always wanted to be that owner, not the one that feels like, yeah, I'm too good for that now, and yeah, I could have my staff just do that. And like, people have said it, like, with all the credentials that you have and how multi-talented you are, why did you pick to do that? They're sitting there washing ladies' asses. Like, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. And that's what made me stay. Because if I wasn't happy doing this, I wouldn't want to do it. I couldn't. And I think the most amazing part of this whole thing is when I get to know them.
Yeah.
And I hear their stories.
What's dope is like, you know, like you have, like, you're so spiritual, you know, like having to go through it, talking to them and being able to like, yo, like, I'm telling y'all, like, I seen her like get along so well with them. Like, you're like, yo, like she known them for years. And it's just been a few months of conversations like, yo, like that spiritual, you know, connection that you have with the ladies. I'm just like, yo, like this is dope.
Well, you know what I also do, King? I also ask them on their intake form, what's their zodiac sign?
Oh yeah, talk to me about that.
Well, that's why I said I really do thorough intakes on my ladies, because I'm very big on making the environment be suitable for them. So I have had other ladies that we've had an amazing bond, but maybe we didn't like laugh and giggle like the way me and Carrie did the whole time. But yeah, it's funny because I've had certain ladies that maybe we might not have joked and laughed like so hard like me and Carrie did, but we still had a dope bond, and she was more of a low key. And that's when I summon my low key. You know what I mean? So if I have a water sign, that's just, Kind of quiet. We're gonna play some light sounds in the background. We're not gonna talk too much, but me and her are vibing.
Yeah.
We're vibing telepathically. You know what I mean? But too much loud noises and talking too much, that's not that queen. And like, I'll literally be like, oh no, I got a whole water sign coming into town. No, I got a whole fire sign. Let me get ready. Because a fire sign might have a you know what I'm saying? Like doing extra activities and that I didn't even expect to do, you know? And then my detail-oriented ladies, like, so I cater to them to the detail. Like, when I meet them, I say, okay, tell me what's your thing. How picky are you? And oh no, because when you cut my cucumbers, Liz, after you rinse them off, you need to get the paper towel and pat them dry.
You have OCD people, like.
Yes, and I love that because I love that, and I cater to them because I'm a little bit tad bit like that too.
Yeah.
So I understand them. The pickier, OCD, antisocial.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Like, come on, because I'm gonna cater to your personality, and that's something against your need. They don't be wanting to go home. Actually, like, can I take you with me? Or can I stay? But I also change their perspective. Like, you're a royal. You deserve to be spoiled.
She said a special word, you know, this is Royalty Palace.
You're a royal and you deserve to be spoiled. And so I know the definition of a royal. I only work with royals, and they're just gonna receive nothing but royal treatment while they're with me. They're gonna be edified. I'm gonna speak life onto them. I'm gonna pray over them. I'm gonna bless the space that they're sleeping in. I'm gonna pray over your food. Everything is gonna be done with intention. So,
Oh, you know what? Let me not go deep into it because, you know, we got short time left. But damn, you said my favorite word.
Intention.
Like that, listen, like anybody that knows me knows that's the word I will say to them maybe 10,000 times. And I don't even like repeating words. But intentions are very powerful. Like the fact that you actually paying that deep in, like.
I have to.
Real quick, I just got an aha moment. The fact that you're paying that deep attention, that's part of the intentions that you have.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Because my intentions with these ladies are purely spiritual. If you really would have asked me what the Royal Society is, it's not a business, it's a ministry. It's a ministry. I'm not even gonna lie. This is why now I'm shifting more into the nonprofit side of it, and you know, it's a ministry. These ladies, I'm getting chills again. These ladies, when they hit me up and they say, I literally love your personality. You just said something to put me at ease. I pray to God for this. And then when they hit me up at the right time, because I pray to God to fulfill a need, because I work for God. So my bank account don't look the same as my competition or my colleagues. It don't. Because I'm running a ministry, and every single one of my ladies, I've got very deep with them. There's even some we've read devotionals together. We have discharged and got rid of past energies that were blocking destinies.
That's what the Royal Society is.
That's what the Royal Society is.
So dope, like, and here's one thing I don't want anybody to miss. Like, right now, social media got a lot of things messed up. What real community is exactly what you're describing. You know, now people think, oh, I'm gonna make a group, and then that's a community. That ain't shit. What you talking about? That's not a community. Like, what you talking about?
I'm gonna start a podcast because podcasts just look like something cool that other people are doing. I don't care about this podcast. I didn't want to do this shit.
Right?
If it wasn't for King telling me that I should do this because it makes sense and maybe it will help me a little bit, like this is why I'm doing it. And if this happens to go somewhere and it helps me, well then cool. But not because I was sitting around thinking about, oh, I just saw Nicki Minaj and she has a podcast. So let me now strategically just attach a podcast to the Royal Society just cause. Even before I met you, King, I did want to talk about deep spiritual things.
Yeah.
I probably put out like 2 episodes and I was like, I don't know about this podcast thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm just so used to having organic one-on-one conversations until one of my clients said, Liz, you should have recorded everything we just talked about.
That's what it is.
When she said, yo, we just had a podcast. She didn't expect for me to get that deep, but she inspired me. While I was around her energy, she was such a dope queen. Shout out, Queen knows what I'm talking about. Started a chain of hibachi restaurants in her state. You know what I'm saying? Entrepreneur and doing big things. Invested in herself to come here. You know, we had our own spiritual moment. We had started having deep conversations about growing as women and how we evolved and how we chose our kings and the reason why they're our king and how to be a proper rib.
Yeah.
So when we got that deep, she was like, yo, you should have recorded this. Have you ever thought of doing your own podcast? Now, see, that's why I think this is beautiful. Because the reason I'm doing everything I'm doing is because people have spoken it on to me.
Yeah.
And people have gone out of their way to help me do it. I wrote myself off. I thought I was done, King. I had wrote myself off. I said, I'm a washed up single mom. I'm gonna just give up on my dreams. I can't run no business. I can't do that by myself. I had given up on myself.
Yeah, you're amazing, like this.
So I'm so grateful to every single stranger, every person, because everybody knows it. Whoever sees this is gonna remember who you are. That randomly gave me money, randomly fed me, randomly gave me somewhere to live, randomly gave me a resource, randomly just helped me with something, encouraged me, looked at me and said, yo, you should be an actress. Just like homegirl that was just here.
Yeah,
she just said that.
Information, yeah.
She looked at me and she was like, yo, you should be an actress because your voice, and you just did 3 voices in front of me and you sounded dope. And I was like, and then somebody, yo, you should do a podcast. Yo, you should do this. And it's like, okay, thanks for speaking that onto me because that's new to me. I didn't get life spoken onto me all the time as a child. So having strangers, that's I'm forever grateful to everybody on my path that like did that, because even some of my ladies, like, they manifested with me. Watch, Liz, don't worry, pretty soon you're gonna have your own house and then you're gonna be like the supervisor walking around just monitoring everything while we're like getting taken care of and spoiled and everything just looks all royaled out. They're watching. I'm in my most humblest moments of this business, and there were ladies who held me by the hand like that and looked at me in my eyes and said, don't worry, you're blessed. Thank you for doing services for free for me. Watch what God got for you. I see it now. So I'm grateful for that. That is.
And that's just that conversation of like being so unlimitedly blessed. And, you know, like you said, you know, now, you know, it takes some time for us to get into that space where you just got unlimited faith. We worry about so much things. You say you're counting yourself out because of all the stress, all the things you're going through. Yeah. But seeing that, the fact that I'm here, just one, you got thrown into it. Got thrown into this.
Even this. Yo, just so you know, Friday, that's it. Show up. I'm going to just record you. Oh, Liz, just talk about your life. Like, this is not. I did not, because I usually would shy away. You know, I always got accused of being conceited, and I'm thinking I'm all that. So when it came to stuff like this, like talking about myself and like putting myself out there, I always just shied away from that. I even shied away from looking too pretty. Like, I used to just be always like a tomboy and kind of like quiet in the cold, hiding myself, dumbing myself down. But I really just got to say thanks to all the people that I've like met who just been encouraging me, because that, it means a lot to me. That encouragement, and just to hear strangers say what I feel in my spirit, what I feel in my heart, like secret dreams I have between me and God, like, it's just, you know, alignment. And I want to only move with intention, and I want to only put out pure energy, because I want to receive that back. And so if I have to do that in my business and be the first business owner to spiritually run a company, so be it.
Shit, freaking about alignment shit. It was supposed to be a whole different show later on in the day.
It's true.
Right? And then, you know, with Karma, Karma came here, give you some confirmation, like I wasn't even supposed to meet up with Karma today. So all these alignment, and you had a like, nice conversation with Karma on pre-show, and being able to just connect and have a deep conversation. And it's like, you know, like if we don't just follow and like listen to the intentions, the flow that God has for us, where we're gonna be at. We're not gonna be as successful. We're not gonna be as wealthy. Fuck being rich, as wealthy as we are. Because like one thing I always say is that, and I'm gonna say it to you too. You are unlimitedly blessed. Like the things that you need are going to come to you when you need them. Don't worry about when you want them. When you need them, you get it. And you will just go ahead and continue on and be hitting and reaching milestones as you're going through the process, you know. And that's like I actually made a post that reminded me. Somebody actually asked me about it earlier. That I said that I'm spoiled because I manifest everything.
I know I'm spoiled, but that's why I'm a royal. Exactly. Like when you're a royal, you get spoiled. And like I came up with my business name based off of reading the word. Like when I read the word for the first time 8 years ago, that's when I got introduced to God. Like what I call God. I know, because I don't want to have that debate with people, you know. And this is why, again, my business, I attract ladies of every religion, and we still pray together. So what does that tell you? I'm not picking a side. As long as that's why I say my company is a light owned and operated business. Yeah. I'm not going to say black owned. I'm not going to say Latina owned. I'm not going to say any of that. You got to be of the light. If you're of the light, then you could come. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what your nationality is, you know? And so I love that fact that my ladies are starting to like see that. And that I'm representing a business in a totally different way. And when I read we're royalty, we come from a royal priesthood, and we got that royal bloodline, and we have an inheritance, and that there's really nothing for me to worry about while I'm here on earth, that changed my whole life. And I got inspired to change my whole life.
Unlimited faith. Unlimited faith, unlimited blessings.
Like, I'm going to sweat the small stuff.
And what's dope is you're a royal serving royals. So the fact that, like, just
that's what my name means. It's not about me. Some people don't get it. The royals assist is not about me.
So plain to see. It's like right in there.
It's the royals. Like, I'm here to assist the royals. It's always been about the royals, because I always felt that there is a business that's missing that caters just to the royals of the world. Like, if there was a concierge company just for superheroes, I made it. The Royal Society. I'm the Royals Assist, Miss Romulus.
At the Royal Palace.
At the Royal Palace Podcast.
Palace Podcast. So thank you again for coming out. And real quick, you know, we haven't dropped any information on where to find you yet. So let's do it now, because a lot of people need to actually connect with you.
Yeah, so my page is at Miss Romulus. That's MSROMULUS. Also the at Royals Assist LLC. That's the business page, at Royal Society. Elizabeth Romulus on Facebook. There's different ways you can connect. Business phone number 323-244-1192. 323-244-1992 if you want to talk business, if you want to reach out. So yeah.
And so if you didn't catch everything, just let me know. I'll make sure you get connected, because like it's very important. You know, one of the main reasons why I'm actually, you know, doing a podcast. And listen, I don't really do the podcast like that. Like you said, I'm not in that space of just podcasting. We're going to do this when it's supposed to be something that's going to provide that assistance, is going to give somebody that information, that education. It's going to change somebody's life. That's when I come out and do it. All these like podcasts, the Royalty Podcast, it's always been a special occasion type of situation. I'm not doing it every day. I'm not going to sit there and talk to everybody. So very special people come onto the platform because I know who they are, and I'm gonna be 100%. I'm selective in everything, life, business, all the way through. So conversations, everybody know me that for a fact I don't talk a lot. So they know for sure if this nigga is talking right now, there's a good reason why he's actually having a conversation. So I really want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you for actually coming out there, giving us the time. And listen, like, the ladies thank you. I thank you for doing everything that you're doing. Like, and I'm gonna be 100%. I'm the type of person, like I'm very protective of women. Like, I see y'all struggle, and we appreciate you. As a king to a queen, we appreciate you.
Thank you, King.
Thank you again. Thank you for being on Royalty Podcast. catch us when you catch us, because it's not all the time you on here.